Go.
All right, welcome back to Mateia, everybody. So last time the party, you guys continued into the portal that you found underneath the ruins that you were sent to by the the Avatar of Smoke and Earth, who seem to be the heads of the Arcane Inquisitors. They sent you to kind of investigate what had happened to the four investigators they sent before, who they knew to be dead. So you guys found a hidden chamber beneath a, well, in the tomb that you found a hidden chamber in one of the secret rooms, which led you to a tunnel or a portal. As you guys hopped through this portal, you found yourselves in this strange, dark, and dismal room, which looked like probably was a prison at some point. And you all started hearing and feeling a voice clawing in the back of your head. And then, as you guys kind of proceeded, you noticed that Nico was getting a little more paranoid. Um, not quite sure what was going on, but they were getting more and more paranoid the further and further you pressed into these into these rooms. You did feel like you were being watched and followed the entire time, but you never did quite see anyone behind you. Eventually, however, you guys found yourselves in a room with four dead elves, all bearing the Arcane Inquisitor's badges, which you guys collected per the request of your employers. You guys rested in this room, even though the urge to push open a giant door kept increasing. But upon finishing your rest, you pushed yourself through this large door and found yourself sealed in a giant worshipping chamber with multiple mind flayers and a large brain inside of a skull at the end of the room. You got combat ensued, and you guys were eventually successful in clearing the mind flayers, but unfortunately, the giant brain did manage to teleport away. You guys did find 180 platinum pieces and a book that was unreadable while you guys were investigating the skull. The language none of you recognized, but the covers seemed to be embalmed and made of flesh. So you took that with you, and after Leaf reached out to her goddess earlier in that combat to resist future brain assaults, you were able to once again tap into your clerical powers and banish all of you back to Moreau. 3 of you ended up in the same place in Moreau, whereas um, Bjork and Bianca ended up somewhere else. Um, that's kind of where we find ourselves now. You guys have your party being separated. I will say that you guys know where you are as far as location because you have all been to the city many times. So, Bjork, you find yourself and Bianca not actually too far from one of the entrances that you commonly use to get into the Arcane Inquisitors headquarters. You're actually pretty close to where you and Nico entered in when you guys came back together from your individual mission that you two had, whereas the other 3 of you are on um, kind of the further outskirts of the city, closer to where Volin and Naomi, you're not in here. Put your name away. Where Volin and Leaf, where you guys came in from your island adventure. So the 2 of you and Nico are up there together, and Bjork and Bianca, you guys are down where you and Nico entered together. So, what do you guys wish to do?
Can you take us to that map?
I refuse.
Fair.
Let's see. You can have this. You can have this map because I don't have a full map of the city hash out yet. So you have this map.
Perfect.
This is what you got.
This works.
Cool. You get the fun little music. So.
Music.
The Leaf just poofs in. She's the last one to arrive. She kind of looks a little befuddled. Just looking around. As soon as she sees Volin, she just runs to him and she goes, I can't believe that worked. I wasn't very sure, but I knew I couldn't be led astray. And she just beams up at you. Like she's so proud of herself.
Yes, it did work, but that creature still lives. We have to gather everyone and bring back what we know.
Yes. Nico made it. Great. Where's Bjork? ...
As you guys look around, you
and
see...
is looking around behind him like, oh,
You guys see hide nor hair of Bjork and Bianca.
I try to smell him. I know what he smells like.
Sure, give me a perception check, and it's gonna be like a DC 25 because he's on the other side of the city, and if you can pull it off, I'll say you can find him. We'll say with advantage because you're smelling. So
Smell check. Can I give her guidance?
sure,
Guidance.
you're gonna get it too with a D4.
God, roll your D4.
Wow, that's really funny. I had no idea what your perception was. I just
that
knew
was a
25.
normal roll too. I didn't even do a...
You can't get better
that's
than that. You
awesome.
rolled it at 20. So
It's beautiful.
you kind of put your nose up to kind of sniff around and try and see if you can figure out the direction of Bjork. And it's more not so much that you're smelling Bjork, it's that you can track Dragonkin pretty easily since you are one. So you kind of start sniffing, and a very subtle breeze kind of crawls its way up into your nostrils, and you catch just the faintest smell of Bianca on the other side of the city. So you know the general direction. You don't know the specific location of where they are, but you can track the smell in that direction.
Okay, Nico keeps his little nose in the air and sort of like sniffs as he moves along. His little goggles kind of bob around on his snout as he's like running side to side down the street, sniffing around, following it.
Okay. All right, so are you two chasing after Nico, or are you just letting Nico run off?
Chasing after Nico, but Leaf is following the exact path that Nico went, so as Nico's going left to right, but should really just be going straight down a street. Leaf is going left to right, left to right.
Like a good blood ounce, right?
Volan's just walking down the middle of the street doing that like disgruntled dad walk.
You know, that
Like,
kind of
oh
thing, right?
great, now I have to deal with 2 children.
Bjork, you find yourself popping into the city with compatriots nowhere to be found. But it is the middle of the day. The city's bustling. It's not like you're in a back hidden creepy alley or anything like that, but you appear, and luckily there's nobody immediately around you, but you do catch a few glances as you're all of a sudden in a place where you definitely were not about 5 seconds ago.
I'll just try to move along and brush it off. Like kind of escape immediate gaze, and I'm assuming I would feel probably disoriented or maybe a little queasy after such an abrupt transition, especially
Yeah.
kind of not the destination.
Sure, roll me a con save and see if you get sick to the old belly.
How queasy am I?
Pretty
Yeah.
like you start to throw up a little bit, but you manage to hold it down. But it's one of those where you probably should have let it come out, but you resisted. And it's not going to feel good later.
Probably looking
Got
for
heartburn
like
now.
a tea shop or an apothecary, like either herbal medicine or like place with warm beverage where I can sit and catch my breath.
Oh yeah, there's a cafe along your walk. So if you want to go into the cafe and get some stomach calming peppermint tea or something like that, you can definitely get some of that
Yes.
and sit outside.
We'll do that. Maybe some candied nuts or I don't know, dragon berries for
Okay.
whatever speed.
As you
Snack.
as you acquire your snack to settle your stomach, Nico, you start to get a mixture of dragon and peppermint mixed in your nose, and it's starting to tingle and burn as the smells are starting to get a little bit mixed up as they're getting stronger. But we'll say after about 2 hours of just following Nico's nose, roll me a straight dexterity check, Nico, to see how many boxes you knock over as you're just clambering through the city.
Just a dex check?
Yeah, just a dex check. So you bump into quite a few things. You bump into a few bigger people. You kind of duck under some legs, duck and weave here and there. You don't ever really knock anything down or break anything to the point where people get frustrated. They more think that you're playing a game as you're also being chased by another small childlike looking person, and what everyone just assumes to be the dad or the uncle, who is, you can tell, not happy that they have to follow 2 children. But after about an hour and a half to 2 hours, you do you weave around this corner, and as you kind of bring your nose back down to a normal level, you see kind of sitting on a table Bianca, just kind of curled up with Bjork having some tea and some snacks.
Oh, hello,
Oh, yes.
Nico.
Also-
Glad you made it back. We'll play airplane. Because
Your
you're a
stomach
dragon,
feels
right?
much better.
Sorry, what was that?
I said we'll play aeroplane. You know, because you're a dragon.
Yes. Good idea.
In the middle of the cafe. You know.
I can smell you, he says very loudly in the middle of the cafe.
Thank you. Yes. Good.
You smell very dragony. Or maybe it was Bianca. I think it was
Also,
Bianca.
perhaps the tea.
Yes.
She has many attributes, including aroma. It's quite true.
Does smell lovely.
You see Leaf and Volan as you kind of have caught up to Nico, who took off sprinting to meet up and jump onto the table with Bjork. You see that at this cafe, there's a sign out front that says they're selling things like hot chocolates and coffees and teas and other coffee shop beverages, as well as you can smell fresh baked goods in the air coming from there.
Ooh. Pastries. Should we upgrade tea for pastries? I'll look at Nico.
Tea is good. I would like a tea also, but do they have something more spicy, like maybe chai?
Let's ask.
They
Barkeep or beekeep?
they have a
Brewkeep?
chili pepper chai.
Ooh, he's on board with that. He wants a little dragony spice. So
You get some chili pepper chai, and it's both smooth and spicy.
what kind of pastry would you like, Bjork?
Flaky and savory.
They do have meat pies.
Baklava
There we go.
Volan will get a black coffee.
That's a very uncle drink.
You get a black coffee, extra strong.
Leaf stares intensely at your coffee.
As dark as his soul.
As you touch it, it's almost like I forget the name of the black that is so black it has no color.
Vanta black?
It's Vanta black. You go to spin it, and it just looks like a black hole. There's no color or light change. It's just a black coffee.
I don't drink coffee. I drink space.
Yes.
You drink the void.
The barista looks down at Leaf and do you want the same thing?
She's just staring intensely at Volan's coffee, like wanting to try it but not wanting to ask. Just big old bug eyes staring.
Let me make you something a little special. Hold on one. And they pour another cup of the same Vanta black coffee, and you see that they grab some blue and some white sugar crystals and kind of break them up into it, and they stir it, and as they hand it to you, it literally looks like you're looking at the night sky and just stars just spinning in this cup.
Her eyes just start to sparkle, and she just stares at the drink. She's not taking her eyes off of her own drink.
The sugar crystals do not seem to dissolve, but they do flavor it. But they are there for decoration now.
Wow. Volan, look. And she'll show him the cup. Who is apparently very into his coffee.
What's happening? A family member came into my room. I figured someone asked me something when everything went dead quiet.
Leaf showed you her, galaxy drink that she got. And she's like, look.
Volan looks at it and gives a pat on the head and takes another sip of his coffee, sitting down at a table.
Can I get 2 chocolate muffins, please?
Absolutely. And they give you two chocolate muffins.
Wonderful. I will balance my cup and my 2 muffins, and I will take them over to the table, and I will very gingerly set down a chocolate muffin in front of Volan. And then I will take a seat next to him and take a drink of my coffee.
All right. You sit down, drinking your coffee and muffins. As you sit down,
Oh, God.
you see that Bianca being distracted with Nico. It doesn't do any damage or anything, but all you hear is and see is thump as what looks to be like a small newspaper just hits Bianca in the back, and the newspaper person runs by goes, "Sorry," and they just take off running down the street. And it is today's newspaper, and you see that it is this.
What's today's date, Mr. Man?
It is Aurelion, the first day of rec.
Shit, you were prepared for that.
I was 100% prepared.
How does the weather report say for the next 2 weeks? I'm just kidding.
Well, it's going to be quite.
How are the stocks doing?
Please don't worry.
They are doing just okay, barely okay.
Funny pages. This is the most important.
You know that to be Thursday, so effectively like the Thursday of this world. And you have been looking at the date. It's the first day of this month, but it looks like you guys have been gone a week. Which, go ahead and roll me a history check, Volan.
Oh, me.
Mhm.
Advantage, no advantage?
Just regular.
Blumo! Hold on. Not that it's gonna matter. I'm just gonna add a knowledge from my past life.
Okay.
No, that's not
your
this
other
character.
Yeah.
I was looking at my old sheet.
I'll say nope. So with a 6, it's weird that it's been a week. It doesn't seem like you've been gone that long. But since you were banished across planes from Leaf, maybe it does something funky with time. You're not quite sure. But it has been a week since you were sent out, which is not unexpected that it would take you more than a couple of days to complete the job that the Arcane Inquisitor sent you out to do. But it has been a week. You see that the celebration or the announcements and the weird excitement that was in the air when you guys first arrived before, with the king having a big announcement, all of that seems to have passed. And the feel around right now, it seems like a regular day. There's some people who aren't very happy, some are just going to work doing their thing, and some are overly excited and nice, but overall it just seems like whatever announcement was to be made has come and gone. And
So this isn't actually a joke question because I'm genuinely curious, but what are the highlights in today's paper? Does it go over the big events of the week?
yeah, so the big events of the week so far, it does recap the announcement that was made, and it says that King Alistair Marfont sent out one of his royal knights, the commander of the guards, the commander of the knights, Naomi, to go and hunt down his adopted daughter, who was, they say, kidnapped, and being held hostage, and he's trying to get her back. So that's what a lot of today's paper is about. There's also just the comings and goings of the town, some mentions of artificer inventions, things that they've been working on, how there are some automatons that have been built, some have exploded, unfortunately, but they're continuously working to improve the quality of the automatons in the city to make the life of everyone here a little bit easier.
That's fun. I have the paper?
It's just kind of on your table.
Okay.
It's just like a regular newspaper, so I mean,
All right,
you guys
so
can
yeah,
share or hide it. It's just a newspaper, so
I'm reading it. I kind of do, I do that dad thing where I put my coffee down and I slap the paper and I go, "Oh, well, would you look at that?"
You ignore the rest of us as you read the paper.
Yeah.
Does he have reading glasses?
Where's the sports section?
You
The
can
sports
lend him
section.
his goggles to read with.
I have my goggles of Identify. I identify the
Oh,
newspaper.
perfect. The dad goggles.
There you go.
Are you a newspaper? Yes, you are.
Yeah, indeed. Are you a magical newspaper?
Go find the princess.
there is a sports section. There's not a lot of sport. There aren't a lot of sporting events that have been happening in the past few days. Basically, the equivalent.
How's the local rugby team doing?
There isn't one, but there is a local golf team, or the equivalent of golf. And they basically do see how the islands at the top of the map are like floating?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a giant mini golf course in the sky, but for professionals. And they've got all kinds of wackadoodle wondrous holes up there. And that is the home course of the Moreau Lightning Flashes. Sure, that's the golf.
Sure.
Sure.
And sounds more like a rugby team.
Well, they're very fast at golf. But they won their most recent invitational. So they're
We
at
need
the
a
top.
rugby team.
There
I
might
don't
be
know
one.
what rugby is. It was
the
just the
season.
first silliest name sport I could think of.
Well, there you go.
Vaguely homosocial wrestling.
Mm.
There you
There's
go.
the reason it's the best.
You're not wrong.
But Volan reading the paper will point out everything to the rest of the group
Mm-hmm.
and take another sip of his coffee
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Well, if we've been gone this long, we may want to report back to the whatever their names were."
The Arcane Inquisitors.
There you go, the Arcane
Organization
Inquisitors.
that we work for.
Yeah, we should
The
probably
people that
report
gave
back
us our
to them.
job. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So way back to them.
I will. Volan will fold up the newspaper, put it under his arm, take another sip of his coffee, adjust his goggles, and get ready.
Roll for loafers to see if you have newspaper loafers on your feet.
Let's find out.
Yes, you have loafers, and they're not very good. They're bad loafers. Loafers.
I don't know how I got them over my armored boots, but they're there.
They're inside of your armored boots, so it's like
Wow.
you thought they'd be comfortable. But
It's extra protection.
yes. All right. So you guys eventually make your way back in through one of the entrances that you know about. Like I said, there are many. You show them your badges, and you show them the 4 badges that you collected, and they let you through. You guys are set to, let me find out. So you guys wait in this waiting room again. You just hang out here, wait until your time, till you're called, and about 20-30 minutes so go by, and you guys are eventually called back into the giant underground spiral library, or the spiral
Yay.
books that go downstairs. And they tell you that the person who leads you in here tells you it's probably going to be 10 to 15 minutes before they can join you. The avatars can join you, but you are welcome to enjoy the facilities in here as you so choose. So, anything in particular you wish to do for like 15 minutes or so?
I'm looking. I'm doing the same thing. I swan dive back into the pit. I'm looking for more books.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a investigation check for book.
I'm also going to remove the Arcane Inquisitor badges from my inventory.
Yeah, absolutely. I say you put
What
on
am I
one
rolling?
of the tables. Investigation.
Okay. Do I have advantage because I was looking for the same stuff last time, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for?
Yeah, sure.
Kablam.
So you find some more books kind of related in the same category of what, but you don't find anything specific on what it is you're looking for. But you're getting closer, you think. You're at least kind of like narrowing it down to the right category. And now you kind of know the whole thing with this this library setup is it's the organization they have, like I said before, is chronologically and not necessarily by category. So you have to find you have to go by the decades and try and break it down in the decades, which makes it a lot more laborious than it needs to be, but that's how they like their books. So you do find more of what you're looking for, but you're not quite there yet.
Okay, I'm just spending 15 minutes, 20 minutes gathering some books and doing some reading.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nico will take his broom and fly down and look at some things. He's not a huge fan of books, but he'll take a look around, pretend he's reading.
Okay. I mean, there are books that are more,
Picture books?
shall we say, artistic in nature. Yes, picture books.
He finds some of those.
Roll me a straight D20 luck check. If you roll well, you'll find a surprise.
Oh, it's a 3.
You do not find the surprise of a pop-up book hidden.
Okay.
There is a pop-up book somewhere. Somewhere. Pops up and spooks you. Leaf, Bjork, are you two doing anything while waiting, or just waiting?
I'll look for whatever book might be on display, like if there's a coffee table book or like a book on a plinth or something that's like their showpiece, and just look at whatever book that might be.
Okay.
See what the
Are
library
those
thinks.
recommended books.
Exactly, the book du jour.
Yeah, so it's the book that you find on the table. It looks like someone's probably researching something related to this. It refers to teleportation magic and the construction and making permanent teleportation circles, and how to utilize teleportation magic in the form of scrolls and verbal casting on the fly, or enchanting it into magical devices and such.
Oh, it's very
That's
helpful.
kind of what this book is. It gets into it in pretty complicated detail, and it definitely seems like this is more of a research-heavy book, which makes sense since the business that you guys work for is in fact a research-based organization that makes decisions from that. So it's not unsurprising to find a book heavy-handed on the research and history of arcane magic. So it's
I
interesting.
assume that Leaf's ability to get us back here was because she teleported, and I don't really know that it was divine. Like, oh look, this is what you can do. Hey, this is a great book for you. Like, not actually, but like, look, his
Oh.
book.
Is that about Ilianis?
It is
No, unless he's the goddess of teleportation.
No. Liliana.
Oh,
Lilianis gives me the ability to banish things to their plane of existence.
okay.
Yes.
I just thought
And
you were really good at teleportation.
Well, it's a form. Does that count?
Yes. Yay.
Then I'm good at
Also, by the way, I don't know if I said
teleportation.
thank you because, yeah, I appreciate not being lost in another dimension for a very long time.
You're welcome. I have some of my muffin left. Do you want some?
Well, yes. I wouldn't say no to muffin.
I will break off a piece of chocolate muffin and give it to Bjork.
All right.
And I just sit at the table because I got lectured and told to sit here the last time we were here. So I just wait patiently.
As you guys wait patiently, coming and floating out of the big hole in the middle of the library, you see both the avatar of Smoke and Earth just kind of make their way up, and they land in front of you, kind of just floating there. The one of Smoke, mainly a face with smoke, and the avatar of Earth kind of cross-legged on what looks to be like a lily pad that's just floating in the air. And the lady of smoke looks and says, I see you've returned. That's great. How did it go? How did you fare? Obviously you survived, but what did you discover?
Do I know what the creatures were? I forget if you said I knew.
Yes.
So
You
Mind
knew
Flayer
yeah, you knew what they were. Yep.
and good old LD Brain.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I begin describing. We went in, we found the badges, we found the bodies. They were torn to shreds, brains eaten out, and then we fought against some mind flayers and an elder brain, but the elder brain got away.
I see you have the badges over there, and you see this giant arm of smoke kind of floats out of her person, and it takes the 4 badges and kind of lifts them up and brings them back, and they disappear into her form. Any idea on where it disappeared to?
No. We finished fighting. It disappeared, and thanks to Little Leaf here, we found our way back in the city.
Oh, did the scroll we provided not suffice for returning?
No, it wasn't that. Ilianis was very present and she wanted to help. So she extended her hand and granted us transportation back.
I also forgot we had a scroll, apparently.
It wouldn't have worked. You were on a different plane.
I only have 4 scrolls in my inventory, and none of them involve teleportation.
Would you like your scroll back? And Leaf will reach into her bag, because she's the one who has it.
Oh, you're the one who had it. I was so confused, because I have all the other scrolls. So I was like, wait, I assumed I had it.
Yes, if we could have that returned to us, it'd be great. We don't want that falling into... And thank you.
Where did I
Yes,
get
here you go.
these?
You found them in that tomb.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right, okay.
Did you find anything else of value? Help us kind of figure out why they were researching that specific area, because obviously we don't want our investigators to just die for no good reason.
It seemed like they were targeted specifically. It didn't seem like random or anything like that, but that it was someone maybe knew them individually and took them out, though we don't necessarily know why.
Interesting. You had no indications of what they were investigating.
Oh, okay, hold on. We got teleported to an underground area, an underground jail. When was the crypt?
Before that, when you fought your way in, you fought that. I got rid of the map, but you guys got teleported to outside the mountain where the entrance was. You guys fought some rock golems. You made your way in. It was a crypt with a bunch of skeletons, and you fought that like animated armor guy. Investigated and got the stuff out of there. Went into a storage room. You found inside of the chest the scrolls and a doorway that went downstairs and underground. When you found the portal, you hopped through the portal and you got teleported.
Okay, so they are all connected.
Yes.
Okay, so then, all right. Because I'm looking through my inventory and make sure I have everything down. I will hand them this. It's in my inventory as this cryptic book, a book full of runes and cryptic text found in a crypt.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. I got it though.
Okay.
A lot of crypt words.
Cryptic. Yeah.
Cryptic.
Right.
Ah!
Was that how you were describing the book that you found in the skull where the elder brain was?
I don't. No.
Yes, that's where you got it.
Okay.
Are you sure? I just wrote down a book full of runes and cryptic text found in a crypt.
Oh, maybe you got that one from the
Because it wasn't I didn't write this in from the duo game, because that's other stuff.
Bjork, did
Well,
you grab that?
Because Bjork investigated and found it. Whether Bjork kept it or gave it to somebody else was up to
Oh, I would assume I would give it to someone who had more use of it, but maybe
Because I have it in my inventory.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess I must have given it to you.
Okay, so yeah, so you have the two books. You have the one that was in the crypt that you couldn't read, and then you have the one that the covers look like they're made of embalmed flesh that you also cannot read. Yes. That was the book you guys found at the end after the Elder Brain fight.
It's not in my inventory.
Well, he just said he gave it to you, so you have it. How about that?
Oh, okay. Okay, then I'll hand over both. I guess I have both. I hand over both the Cryptic Book and the Necronomicon.
Okay. There we go. You see the eyes, the deep black eyes on this smoky lady get real wide. And she kind of flips the pages and looks through it and says, well, this book that she holds up, the equivalent of the Necronomicon, in your words, this will take some time to decipher. I cannot read what this says right now. And she floats it over to the other woman with her, and they shake their head back and forth as they can't read it immediately either. So this will take some time to read. This other one, you might find this kind of funny, or you might not. It really just depends on your sense of humor. This one is an ancient book of puzzles. It's effectively like a crossword made in ancient times.
That's clever.
It's kind of set up to look like something important, but it's really just a book of puzzles. Any child from that time could read it, but it's a language that,
you know what,
it's not really something we use anymore, so it's kind of lost to time. So
I would ask if they don't mind me keeping it, because in my mind, Volan's like, I can keep Leaf busy.
Sure, we have no use for it. You can have it if you like, but we're going to keep this one. And she makes the fleshy embalmed book kind of disappear into her person.
That seems appropriate. That seems like a bad juju book.
Right. Well, this book will probably take a few weeks for us to at least start to translate, so we'll keep you up to date on that. But since last we spoke, which, by the way, I guess if you used a banishment spell, time does get kind of strange between the planes. That would make sense that you've been gone a week. But we're glad you're not dead. And you hear the avatar just snort, kind of like disapprovingly. And she goes, "Don't worry about her. She's just in a mood today. I woke her up early and she hasn't had pancakes yet, so she's just not happy."
Leaf will look up halfway through her muffin and stretch out the rest of her muffin to the Avatar of Earth.
She just shakes her head, and as if she's saying no, thank you.
Leaf will just nod and go back to munching on her muffin.
Since I know we mentioned it to you before about how we have informants kind of all around, and we mentioned specifically the one in the Shadowfell before. We've been, while you've been gone, in just the past couple of days, we've received information that there is a creature that's utilizing dreams to consume souls and gain power. So we're keeping an eye on that. At least that's what our informant has told us so far. So we're trying to hope that doesn't try and break across the plains. Yes. So that might be in our next meeting with you. But is there any questions or concerns you have right now for us?
Are there other
We'll
missions or priorities
promise
you try to focus
pay.
on soon? Or
What was that?
go.
We were promised pay, Leaf says with her mouth full.
Oh, yes, that's fine. But you'll collect from the main office. You're each entitled to 1,500 gold pieces. So
Her eyes get real big.
I have one rather important question.
yes,
How does this all fold back into the king?
we're not quite sure yet. We're still working on that. We're hoping that the information we get from our informant will give us more, and we'll be able to put more together. The king is... Something is wrong with the king. We're trying to figure out what it is, and if this power that our informant is providing to us is as powerful as we fear it might be, that could be something to do with it, but we need to get more information. That's what we do here. So maybe this book will have more. Those who died before you trying to find more information, which I assume is this text. Well, hopefully this gives us some of the information we're looking for. If not, then we'll just have to try and chase down more leads. So hopefully this was worth dying for. But until then, if you have any
reports from Ithlid, because often they have coordination within their campaigns. Any other agents that report strange beings like that?
we have not heard. There's been nothing specific yet that has come through and grabbed our attention as much as this creature of dreams and soul control. But we'll keep you in the loop now, as you're now roped in with us. But if at any point you no longer feel that this job is a lead worth pursuing for you, you are always able to step away and obviously not lose your status in the Inquisitors. At any moment, you are able to say no, thank you. This specific job is too much, and you can step away, and it will not be held against you. And you are obviously able to take on further jobs and missions as well, because your safety and livelihood is our number one priority. So,
That is fantastic to hear. Thank you.
absolutely, we don't ever want to pressure somebody into something that they are not capable of completing, want to complete, or feel safe doing. That's just not a smart maneuver for us. It's how you lose employees and trust of those who work with you and for you. So
Why is this
We've all-
organization so nice?
I was gonna say this is weird
This
me
is like
out,
the
bro.
opposite of like every other workplace in the world.
This is like I'm getting weird vibes because it's too nice. Like stop being nice to
Nice
me.
places do exist. They do exist.
They do
Can
exist,
confirm.
yep.
Few and far between.
And
feel free to use the library for as long as you so choose. But we have other business to tend to, so we will be taking our leave. And they start to just kind
Thank
of
you for your
float
time.
down.
This mission. Yeah.
Absolutely. Feel free to collect your earning out. Choose to leave. So they just fade down into the bottom
I wonder if
of...
we need to tip the office staff.
If you tip the office staff. I mean, you can.
I mean, Leaf tried giving them a muffin.
She did try to give himself a muffin.
Is a muffin fungible?
I mean, to the right people.
True.
All right. Anything you specifically want to do while in the library, or they basically told you that it's going to take a few weeks for start to get any of that information deciphered. So here's how it will work. There's effectively, before the next thing happens, you have 3 weeks in game where if there's anything specific you wish to do as your character, to do any research, if you want to leave town, if you want to go pursue individual needs or wants, you can tell me that's what your character wants to do, and your character can go and do those things, or you can just hang out in the city for 3 weeks. We'll just go around and you tell me what the plan is for your guys' characters for, let's say, the next 3 weeks. Leaf, what is your character's plan for the next 3 weeks?
Outside of following Bolin around, the next thing that she would want to do is she would want to try to track down a temple of Ilianis, if there is one. And if there's not, she would try to seek out a kind of generic temple where one can just pray. And she would go there and offer tribute to Ilianis for saving her and her friends.
Okay. There is 100% a non-denominational religious facility where anyone can go and practice whatever faith they wish to practice and pray to their deity that they so choose. And I'll just roll a D100, and if it's over 80, we'll say there is a smaller temple to Ilianis kind of hidden away in a smaller portion of the city. There is. So it takes a little while, but you do find one. There aren't a lot of patrons here. There is one, the leader of this facility, and they welcome you in and they kind of show you around. It's mainly like a small three-roomed place with what seems to be an apartment upstairs, and then a main praying chamber and worshiping chamber, and then a small like storage facility with it where they would keep all of their ritual sacraments and the things they need to perform their ceremony. So
perfect. Yep, I would offer to pay tribute, and I would tell Bolin that for a couple days I would be staying at the temple to properly pay tribute to my goddess for saving us.
Okay. All right, Volin, what is your character doing for 3 weeks?
Other than giving my character a long rest.
Yes, you would all benefit from long rests, obviously.
I also don't know how I just went from 94 health to 74. I don't know what was on my character.
Aid.
You had aid for 20 HP.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. I was wondering, that's a drastic shift downwards.
Yes.
He would be spending the majority of the 3 weeks just researching, reading books, finding all the books he can about medicine and sickness and disease, and if none of those books, like maybe by like the end of week 2, start of week 3, he'd begin looking for books on the undead, resurrecting undead, things like that.
Okay. So go ahead and we'll do a couple of checks. So go ahead and roll me. We'll do 3 investigation checks, all at advantage, since you know what it is that you are looking for.
In a row, or each of them are going to have specific things you want to tell me? So stop after each one.
Just do all in a row.
All right, first one.
Okay.
Second one.
Okay.
Third one.
All right. You find a book, and roll me. You find a book that you think has what you need. You find a couple. Roll me 2 medicine checks at advantage.
Okay. Oh, well, that wasn't an advantage, but I'll do it again.
Okay. Okay, and then one
That's
more.
The first one. If at any point, I mean, it already. If at any point I know you're making me do medicine, but at any point you ask me to do an Arcana check for whatever reason, I would like to use the goggles of object reading to try and reveal more information. So I'm just
Okay.
saying that now.
Got it.
21 and 23.
Okay. What languages does your character speak?
Goodbye.
So, what you find is in a language that you don't inherently understand. So you have to continuously cast comprehend languages, because you have comprehend languages, correct? As a ritual.
Probably. I don't have it prepped, but I could.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ritual, so you can just have it prepped all the time, because that's how that works. But as you kind of look through and you are looking for your very specific information, you find it. You find what you think is the cure, or what could work as a cure.
Okay.
So you have that. It is a very old ritual, and you find this in the first week.
Mm-hmm.
So spending the next 2 weeks, I assume, trying to find confirmation of whether this works or not, because that would be what logically would make the most sense. You can't find any confirmation that this has worked one way or the other. You've seen people attempt it.
He's probably running around the town trying to find wizards and doctors. Just tell me what I need to know.
And nobody seems to know. But you have these books that have this ritual, and looking at the ingredients that you would need, you could find them. It would be costly, and it would probably take the entirety of everything you could fathom to sell and all of your money. But you could find it, and you would have one shot at attempting it and seeing if it.
We also got 1,500, right?
Yep, you got 1,500 gold.
All right. If at some point, is this a book that's like so old it doesn't have a name?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna write down possible cure book in my inventory, and if at some point you can message me the ingredients.
I'm just gonna give you a total value of them.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So based on the level that you are and the money that you have earned and the capabilities that you have as a wizard, you could earn money pretty quickly. It's going to cost you 25,000 gold pieces in total, but you could earn that pretty not challengingly. You could earn it. I'd say you probably have you probably have like 18,000 to your name total.
Okay.
So you could earn 7,000 gold. So pretty not impossibly, but
okay.
You don't know the dangers of this. You don't know the results of what could happen, but you have a potential answer. So,
alrighty,
more than you've ever had before. So
solid. Volan, like if any of the others see him like darting around town after reading the book and finding some of this, like at the end of week 3, he has a somewhat twisted smile on his face, but less twisted in a bad way, more twisted like oh my god, it's finally happening way. Like he twisted to the point where like it's just it's unnerving to see how happy this man is.
There you go. All right, Bjork, what are you doing for the next 3 weeks?
I have a couple ideas, Alex. So depending on feasibility,
yeah,
we kind of go on the list of what you think makes sense. Plan A, and this might be a bit of sidebarring to get a strategy with Volan. Hi, if you're on board, is to try to track down either a higher level ranger or druid or some other kind of person to hire them to cast Awaken on Bianca. So it'd be like looking for the person and then hiring them to be a spellcaster to awaken the Bianca. I don't know how possible that is, but that is plan A.
So I think Bianca's intelligence is too high to be awakened. I think you have to have an intelligence of 4, and she has intelligence of 8.
Yes.
So she's already technically smarter than an awakened creature, basically.
Great. Okay. Right, because she's fairy type.
Yes. So
she's basically already awakened.
Mm-hmm. Effectively, she is
Cool.
awake. She understands multiple languages. She just can't speak them.
Gotcha. Well, never mind that. But okay. Plan B, and this isn't towards anything specific. It's more just like fun flavor / earning a plot coupon. Would be to see if there's any job boards for vicious or dangerous or mysterious monsters near the city to do a little monster hunting to both make the townsfolk and general countryside safer, and also maybe get a rare crafting ingredient. Ooh.
Ooh, all right. Yes, we'll say I'll roll a d10, and there is many postings. Something, or this is the level of difficulty. So it'll be this many postings, 3, and then each one will have a difficulty, and we'll just do these in like 10 out of 10 is the hardest. So 8. So you see 3 postings, all for the same type of creature. They've only ever really seen it at night, so there's only been shades of it going around, but it's been destroying a lot of local farm life. Even going as far as like killing bears and killing moose and elk. So whatever this thing is, it's very, very large. And
Wow.
it's more so that the city guard don't necessarily care because it's not affecting the city directly. It's affecting the local villages on the outskirts by like a day or two outside of the city. Like it's pretty far out there comparatively. But they're looking for anyone that's willing to help. And if you kill it, you can keep whatever it is if you decide that's what you want, or you can turn it in or utilize it for whatever purposes that you're looking for. So we'll say because you're a high enough level ranger and you have a dragon companion with you, that if you were to go out, it would take probably, we'll say it takes 3 days. Take your first day, you find the job on the board, you take 3 days to travel out there, and then it's going to take you with scouting the environment and tracking it back to its home and building the traps and basically setting the most advantageous position that you can to survive and cause as little environmental destruction as possible. It's going to take you about 2 weeks to make sure everything is done 100% to your liking to be successful. And you are able to do that without it takes a lot of work, obviously, because 2 weeks worth of work, but you are able to be successful. And is there a specific type of crafting thingy you're looking for?
Not really, because I'm pretty happy with the items I've gotten and so on.
Okay.
So maybe
Well, just put in your inventory then, and we can figure something.
Yeah.
Do it. Just
Something
put high level
for-
crafting
yeah.
ingredient, and then for extraneous monster hunting job. So
Exactly, like, I don't know. Well, like a dragon thing, but not a dragon, because obviously dragons are nice because they're friends, but like,
okay.
like a manticore tail or something.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you spend, like I said, it'll take you 3 days to get out there. You spend about 2 weeks tracking and hunting, getting rid of it. It takes you 3 days to get back. So by the time you get back, you'll have basically one night just to chill and relax and do whatever it is that you want to do before they said they would likely reach out to you guys again. And Nico, what do you want to do for 3 weeks?
Nico has this letter from Mother, but Nico doesn't remember where Mother is, and so Nico's going to try to get the letter to be translated. Maybe someone very smart could help him.
Okay.
So perhaps somewhere in the library or something like that, he could pay somebody to translate.
Roll me, because this is adorable and it's going to be great. You're wearing your big old shaky sunglasses. You walk on into this big old library, which, if we recall, is this. Nico in this big old library. Hey, Anthony, you're not there anymore.
Hey, I remember this guy.
Oh.
So Nico makes
Who's
it.
this creep?
Nico makes it here. So Nico, you can end up finding, as you kind of listen and walk around, you do find Samantha, this lady who seems to be lecturing and seems very, very smart in their magical manifestations. And as soon as you approach, you know that thing when you see like a really, really cute animal and you just go all like baby talk, puppy talk to it? She does that as she sees this tiny little dragonoid with a crystal sword, shield, and big old sunglasses just walk in here acting like they own the place. And she offers to help you for a cost, obviously. She said that she could translate your letter for you, and it would cost you, let's say, 5 gold, because the handwriting is not very good. It's a lot more work to figure out what it's saying than the translation part of it. So,
Okay.
so-
It must be very difficult. It must be very difficult language because I cannot understand. It must be rare.
what languages do you speak?
So, sidebar, we decided that it's going to be in Draconic. So Nico
Okay,
speaks Draconic, but he just can't read. He's extremely illiterate.
that's fair.
So yeah.
Okay, so she ends up translating it for you, and then we can figure out specifically what it says later. But
Yeah.
she reads to you what it says. That way you know, and puts it into very, very nice penmanship, so that if you were to show it to somebody else, they could read it, and she translates it to common for you as well. So she gives you the original back and gives you the translated copy of it, and then reads to you what it says, and then bids you adieu. It takes her a couple of days to do it, just because the handwriting is so bad, and to try and figure out different languages, terrible handwriting to translate it. But she gets it taken care of.
Awesome.
Anything in particular you want to do for the rest of the next few weeks? Because that probably takes you the first couple of days of the first week.
Yeah, the rest of the time will be spent probably getting ready to go on an adventure to find Mother based on the information in the letter.
Okay.
So yeah, probably getting some gear and things and supplies and food and
Okay.
maybe finding someone who can read a map and find places. So again, I'll be back to the library pretty frequently. So
Okay.
that is going to be
The
tiring.
library.
All right.
And yeah, that's
So
probably how he spends that time.
okay, so I'm just gonna go back to this map, the Moreau map. So 3 weeks go by, and as you guys start to kind of get a little antsy, waiting to hear back from the Avatar of Smoke and Earth, it is now this day, Orkly on the 24th of Rick, 3 weeks from when you guys just arrived. And as you guys wake up today, in the different places where you guys all wake up, you're all back in town at this point. You hear rumblings and you hear commotion about how the king just threw the number 2 in command of his military in jail with the people that she returned with. And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to your primary party in jail.
Break time!
Break time.
Woo!
Break time! Be back in
Exciting.
10-ish.
All right. So, of Rake, you guys now find yourselves in kind of midday, later morning time. You guys find yourselves in prison, the four of you, and you can see what you can see based on the walls and the small amount of lighting in your prison cell. Let me recap what led to you being thrown in prison, since it's been since January. It's been 4 months. So, initially, you guys awoke the morning of today in Naomi's sister and in-law's house. You guys eventually made your way to reports of tiredness and exasperation. Much more tired and much more exasperated than what he was when he sent you on the job, Naomi. Sitting next to him was his wife, Queen Priscilla Marfont, and then on the other side of him was an empty throne with a blue cloth hanging over it as if waiting for its owner to return. You saw, eventually, you guys took the notes that Dragon had translated in the library by Samantha the Sorceress. You handed them over to King Marfont. He read them, and then you heard, by kind of just paying attention to what he was saying to his wife, that he handed them to her, downplayed the information that was on them, and told her that he believed that you all, or someone, he referred to them as they, are lying, are hiding something, and are going to try to take power for themselves. It was in this perception and observation moment that Pax believed to see the king's eyes quickly flash red and go back to normal. You tried to turn your back to the king and perform the message cantrip, where you were promptly and swiftly turned around and told that if you were to put your back to the king, you would face death and grave consequences. Proceeding from there, the king did recognize Dragon upon first seeing him, and your salute. The king, however, did not return your salute. He did state, however, that he was 100% sure that Dragon was dead and is unsure and doesn't really care about how you're currently alive. He remembers that 30 years ago, you helped him get on the throne, fulfilled your duty, and left. You left to get married, and he heard that you had 2 daughters, which he paid his condolences for you having daughters rather than sons. He remembered receiving a letter 4 years after you had left, stating that Dragon had gone off to another unsanctioned war, had not come back, and his family presumed him to be dead and were requesting aid and gold from the king. He refused, but sent someone to keep an eye on Reagan's family. Eventually, that the person keeping an eye on his family was recalled, and to the best of the king's knowledge, the daughters are probably alive somewhere. He doesn't know where, and the wife is very much likely dead. He then became very agitated at Naomi turning and failing to complete the quest and bring with her the person that he sent her to go and get. He didn't know the other 2 people that Naomi brought with her, meaning Anthea and Pax. He did say, however, to Pax, when Pax himself, that he's from the conclave that he couldn't destroy due to the protective magic surrounding Evermeet, and then told Anthea that she will not have access to any of the kingdom's scientists, as the last magician she had access to, she had ruined, as well as his protege. He kicked away Naomi's glaive and continued to deride her. He stated that he asked, "You think you can come in here and ask for favors after failure?" And then his tone shifted to being more guttural and more heated, but restrained. And then he told Dragon You're not my problem, and your family's not my problem. They could be alive or dead. I don't care. I'm not going to help you find them. Do whatever you think is best, but if abandoning your family to the Shadowfell again is what you see as best, well then any respect you may have been able to garner in this kingdom for your past deeds is gone. Told Pax he had no interest in bartering or trading knowledge with people of his land, and that they should blame themselves for their curse rather than others. He then left the room. This is not normal behavior for how you know the king to be, Naomi. He left the room, and when you asked the queen what your orders were, as you were not given any, she stood up from her throne with her fingers to her temple, and you heard her say, of course, of course. And then she looked at the lieutenant who was in front of you all, said, you know the order. She proceeded to leave, and the four of you were stripped of your armor and weapons, not forcefully. They asked you to hand them over, and you did, including Anthea's hat and all spell components and magical items, and you were each led to your own cell in this jail house beneath the castle. And this is where you find yourselves now. You can see each other through these little windows that you guys have in your cells across. You can also hear each other, as it's not like a soundproof dungeon or anything like that. But you have your front cell doors, which are barred, your normal jail cell doors, and barred windows inside the cell. And you have lights in there as well. There are also toilets in these rooms. I just forgot the map. You should theoretically not be able to walk out of your cells, but you can. The things that you can see through here are like little windows between the cells, so you can see what you can see as you move around. And there are a couple guards here. And you know that there are, at this point, 4 guards in this room, and you did come down a set of stairs down here into this this jail area. So that is where you guys find yourself now, quite promptly after being just berated by the king, and Naomi being called, kind of, but not in as many words, a failure and a traitor. Were thrown in jail. So that is where you guys find yourself now. What would you like to do?
Naomi's just gonna take a seat on her bed, take Simon into her lap, and they're just gonna sit and wait.
I think message should still work even without spell components, question mark?
You technically need a small piece of copper wire. So if you could have hidden a small piece of copper wire on yourself, sure. Let's have you roll a sleight of hand check, and I'll say the DC is, because there were a lot of guards surrounding you, we'll say the DC was 18. See if you could just keep an extra piece of wire. Yeah, so unfortunately you are unable to keep that on. You can still talk, okay? People can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, doesn't seem like there's much we can do at this stage. And with so many ears around, we probably shouldn't share too much.
How long have we been in jail? Is this like an immediate cut back to like us immediately being thrown in?
Yeah, you've basically been in jail for, say, a couple hours at most.
Okay. Dragon's probably devolved into full madman already. So
Okay.
anyone who can hear him just hears him. You like hear the footsteps of pacing back and forth through his cell and just muttering to himself.
Okay. This guard makes their way down here and is like, What are you doing?
I don't think Dragon answers. He's just muttering to himself over and over again. Probably his hair is probably all disheveled from running his hands through it. He's just staring at the ground, pacing back and forth, just talking to himself.
If you're gonna talk to yourself, do it quieter. And
Wow.
he goes back up. He goes back over here and starts continuing on his walk between up and down the halls, basically doing their patrol. You do have Simon in jail, which is with you, which is kind of funny, and Glenn is also in.
I imagine them in little cuffs as they were being brought in.
Yes, Simon had one on his tail for sure.
They gave us blankets?
Yeah, they're not monsters.
Oh my god. I'm gonna like fucking Rorschach them, dude. They're stupid.
You guys have bedding and a side table with water in there. Its cleanliness is, well, you're not quite sure. And to like bathe yourself, there's a toilet pot in the corner, which I forgot to put on the map. And then you have a little side table with a stool that you
What are the
can
bowls made of?
just like regular ceramic.
Oh my god, they gave us weapons.
I mean, there's also basically a full armory down here too, and all of your boxes
Hey,
that are also
listen.
down here. So,
Sharp ceramic still can cut through a throat.
hey man, I agree with you. They're just not monsters. So,
Listen, what I'm seeing right now is some rope and a dagger.
This is a higher end prison.
uh-huh. And Thea, what
Just
about
so-
you? How are you feeling about being in?
Anthea is muted.
You are muted, Anthea.
Sorry, I was muted that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't very clever. Well, Anthea's trying to think of something clever. But she's a little lost without a lot of her magic. So she's, I guess, trying to figure out if there's anything she can try to, like, she's probably looking closely at the locks and trying to see if there's a way it could be tampered with somehow, if there's some sort of mechanism.
Okay, roll me a investigation check.
Okay.
17. Okay. It looks like it could, if you had the right equipment, you might be able to break the lock, but you would need to be able to make the equipment to do it. You'd be able to, if you can pick the lock, you could try and pick your way out of it. It's just a regular jailhouse lock. It doesn't look like it's magical or anything.
Don't have anything on me, right? So even my hat's gone?
Correct.
Okay. I don't think I have any spells that would let me pick a lock. I can't use anything with material components? Is that the...
Correct.
Okay.
You'd need verbal and somatic components.
I mean... Are there any plants around?
There is a little, like, centerpiece here on the table, and it's just like a looking flower that's seen way.
Let's see.
It's right.
That
It's,
would work.
it's right there.
I mean, it's tempting, but I don't think it would work for what I would like to do. So I can't really transport via plants because it is a sad small plant. And it's too far away. Can I try to see, like, who's in the cells next to me? Can I see through them?
Yeah, you can see. You should be able to see into there on the other side. Like, you have a window there, and you have here, and then here and here. I will say, just from where they were placed, you have packs across from you there, and then up here you have Naomi and Simon, and down here you have Draken.
So I watched them. Okay.
Yeah, you guys were all let in and independently put into your cell, so you guys know where you are. And you can see, if you just look out your front door, you can see Draken pacing back back and forth like a madman. So, you also see Pax through your. I think the only person you won't be able to see based on your line of sight will be into Naomi's cell. So you basically can. I think you can all only see 2 people at any given point. Yeah. So. Mhm.
I cannot see into Pax's. I cannot see through this door.
Oh, it's probably. Let me see. You might just not have line of sight that far. Oh, he can see. So you can basically see out of the doors. The only way I could make them. Actually, let me just see if this works. I'm just gonna have to delete the
Hey,
doors. Just
there we go.
Just don't walk out of those because I have to remove the doors for you to see through the doors. There you go. Now you should all be able to see through the doors to wherever you
No
can see.
worries.
Just don't step out the door. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, the only thing. I'm gonna try whispering to Pax through our little window
Nice.
and explain that I can't really do the plant magic because plant is pathetic and too far away.
Oh, that makes sense.
But
I don't have much magic
perhaps-
either. I mean, I can sing, but that's not gonna do much for us.
Could we distract the guards or something, and then I could maybe cause an earthquake? A small one?
Maybe.
Or shall we
Yeah.
try to do this a little more sneakily? I could try blinding and deafening them, and if we could do something to get the key, or something like that.
I can probably distract with a song while you try one of your magical options. I assume singing doesn't require.
No,
instrument, I
you
just
can
belt
you
it.
can sing. And as loud as you want, actually.
Sure. Yeah. So that'd be like a performance, or
Yeah, we'll
what
just
kind
say
of roles to help?
do a performance check, and it will determine how upset it makes the guards.
Obnoxious or drunk do I seem? Pretty high.
That's very very well. You start performing, and you see that one of the guards comes over and just kind of stands here, and you hear him tapping his toe a little bit, and then there's a second guard that comes over and joins, and at this point you've got 3 guards that have made their way over to you, and they're just kind of just listening and watching you kind of dance, and they're tapping their toes, and this other guard is just kind of maintaining patrol, going back and forth and still listening because it's a pretty big echoey jail, so you can your voice will just bounce around between the place, but 3 of them are kind of just tapping their toes, just kind of just listening, as they don't seem to get much entertainment,
As you do.
guarding a jail. So
I'll kind of like wave my head towards May to encourage her to get her spell on.
Okay.
okay.
I also have another idea, because there's Gleba.
I also have an idea.
Ooh,
Okay.
perfect. I love this. Can I send Gleba to try and get to one of the guards' keys?
Sure. Are you gonna try and rob a guard with Gleba?
Basically, yeah.
All right. It's gonna be a hard check because they're not unaware of
Yeah.
what they have on their people.
Fair.
Or that
Okay.
a Gleba exists.
So you're sending Gleba to, I'm assuming, to this guard.
Gleba has a +3 to stealth.
Okay. So roll a stealth check for Gleba.
Nope.
Gleba hops out, boop, 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 and Gleba makes a ribbit sound and starts just the slimy flop out of a toad just appearing. This guard looks kind of confused and just tries to kick at Gleba and shoo Gleba away. As he has a passive
Nasty
of
frogs
more
in
than
this
5.
place.
So
I am in no way affiliated with this nasty frog.
Ma'am, I saw the frog on your head. Please take your frog back into the cell before I'm forced to kill it.
I'll motion for Galiba to come back into the cell.
Galiba hops, just ribbit, and just hops back in.
Reagan, kind of standing at like the corner of the cell door, is just going to loudly begin talking to himself in hopes that it attracts one of the guards to the door.
This
Like
guy,
he's trying to make an upset.
he stands a little far enough away that he's not within arm, but he can see you, and he goes, "Oh, what is wrong with you?"
While he's distracted, I would like my echo to appear behind him and push him into me.
Can your echo do the shove action?
I mean, it can make attacks.
Well, attack is not the shove action.
You can replace an attack with a shove, right?
I know, but I don't know if echoes can shove. That's the thing. Let's see.
Different question.
Let's see. Shadow Martyr. That's not what I'm looking for. Take that you can any attack you make with that action can originate creature you can see. So it does not specifically say you can, and I'm gonna say because it's basically like a ghost that shoving.
I mean, if I punch someone with myself, I can then punch someone with the echo. And if I can punch someone, theoretically, that's still making physical contact for a shove.
You try to spook him backwards?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, sure. We can say that it can shove. Sure, we'll see what happens. And you're going to try and shove this guy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me pull up a stat block for this guy right quick. All right. So you're doing athletics test, did I assume?
Is that what it is?
It's your athletics versus their athletics or acrobatics. So.
Okay, yeah, then yes.
All right.
And now I can get knowledge from past life.
Oh, you rolled an 8.
Okay,
So,
well, I have a +9.
to roll a 1. Here, I will give you the old Copperoonie right there. And he doesn't have
no, hold on.
Do you have? Oh, you have your echo, right? Oh, there you go. Cool. He gets whammed, pushed into you that
And
way.
then the second he gets whammed close enough, Dragon kind of leaps from the corner and does a Rorschach and wants to grab his hands to pull him in and then wrap the blanket around his hands and tie it.
Okay, so that'll be a grapple check against him. And we'll say that since he didn't shove in the back, you're trying to grapple him, it'll just be a contested old checkaroony. So.
Is that athletics again?
Yeah. I said roll. 7, 13. Wow, he's rolling real bad. He has 5. All right, so you have him currently grappled. So you shove with your echo this guard against the door, against the gate, and you now have him grappled and are starting to. Because I'm going to say it's going to take you a full action to effectively tie him up with a blanket there. Because that's not a super quick thing you can do because you got to get him in first. Yeah. So you've grappled him. At this point, Anthea, you see him grappling him. Pax, you're up here dancing. I'm going to say you're right here just so they can see you. You're dancing. And Naomi, you hear Pax dancing and you start to hear a struggle. What do you want to do?
I do nothing.
Okay. I'm going to roll perception checks on these other guards real quick, fast, and in a hurry. So here's 3, and we'll say because you're grappling a guy in splint armor against a metal door, it's not really quiet, and he's yelling too, so you know. A 9, a 16, and a 13. Okay, so this first guy is very, very enthralled by how loud Pax is singing and dancing. This guy up here is kind of like just keeping a lookout a little bit, but this guy, since he's a little further away, he sees what's going on, and he turns to come running towards you, and just like throws an elbow at this other guy, and he starts running. Pax, you see this guy running. Anthea, you see what's going on. Naomi's just chilling. What are you guys doing?
Okay. Can I see if I like angle myself? I still can
Mhm.
only see like some of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
This is not ideal for what they want to do.
If you wait a second, you'll see this guy sprinting this way. I'm sure he's coming.
Okay. In that case, can I? Can see at least 2 of them, right?
Yeah, you can see the guy being grappled and probably the guy running down.
I have so many spell slots. This could be fun. Can I try to hold it until I have all or most of them in sight, and then
Sure.
I want to
Alright.
try and blind them.
Okay.
Can I hold that?
What is
It's
that?
just a verbal.
What is that? Like a 5th level blindness deafness spell or something like that?
I mean, I have a 6th level if I need to.
That's
How many are there?
there will be 4 total.
4. So
Yeah.
normally at 3rd level, it's just.
Yeah, 3rd level it would be 2, 4th level would be 3, and 5th level would be 4. So
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
okay, so you're gonna hold a blindness deafness until you see them and try and blind all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So this guy's running towards you. Pax, do you do anything or you continue?
Capering seems to still be helping the team, so I'll continue to caper.
Okay.
Can I, as I caper, try to like accidentally kick over the table or something to make more noise, and also add some like buffoonery, like, "Oh no, I stubbed my toe." while I'm singing.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You rolled a really high performance check, so you kind of stumbling and kicking over a table is not out of the line of
Like,
bard
am I drunk? Am I
performance,
crazy? Like, it's like, oh dear.
right? All right, so
no.
Dragon, we'll do another contested check. You're basically, since you already have him grappled, we'll do another contested check, and if you are successful, you will effectively restrain him by tying his arms with the blanket to the door.
Okay.
An 11.
Oh boy. Oh my god. You know what? I just want to, because it's funny, I'm using knowledge from past life and rolling an additional d6.
Okay. Yeah, so he's struggling. Like, he's struggling real hard, but you manage to, at the last minute, you just kind of like catch his thumb and bend it back in the right way to, when someone like bends one of your joints back and it just hurts. Like, you pull it back just enough that he loses a little bit of his focus, and you can very quickly wrap up his wrists and take the blanket and rope it through the door. And
I'm doing a Rorschach. I want his hands inside the bars.
Yeah, they're inside where you are. Just you're tying them and then
And did he have a weapon in his hands or like sheathed?
He had kind of sheathed, so it's on his hilt. He's not carrying that big old pike that he's got right there. That's
Okay.
I'm gonna put this on him to just basically say that he's restrained, and at this point, this guy is getting close. He's like right here as you're doing it. So.
Okay. If he gets there
Mm-hmm.
in like a swift movement,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going crazy here. So Shadow's here.
Yep. I
swap positions.
Okay.
Effectively getting me out of my jail cell, and I see him here. I'm going for this guy's weapon.
Okay. As you go for that, this guy definitely sees you out, and he's going to yell, "Help! The prisoner's free!" and grab the attention of these two guys. So at this point, I guess we'll go into initiative, as you have decided to break out of jail. I'm gonna put this guy in initiative. Well, I'm gonna leave him out of initiative because he's tied to the rope. He's tied to the thing until he breaks it and gets back in, if he gets out of it. Actually, I'll toss him in there, and he'll just do like disadvantaged athletics checks to try and break himself out. Let's see. Pax, roll me initiative 2, please.
Yes.
Do the spells granted by Shadow Touched and Fey Touched, do they require the components, or can you just cast them?
They require what they require.
Okay.
I want to do. Let's go with...
You just don't need to expend a spell slot.
Yeah, it's just a free... No, which leaves... Cool. So you got 6. All right. So, Naomi, it is turn. You, the guard, yell, prisoners free, come help. And these guys basically in their square turn around to face the direction of Dragon's cell.
I do nothing. That is the end of
Okay.
my turn.
Okay. This guy up here is going to use some movement and start making their way. They can get to right there, so they're gonna sprint down here, and he's gonna try, since he's got his weapon away, he's gonna try and tackle you to the ground, and try and restrain you that way. So he's gonna try and basically do the shove action to knock you prone with contested athletics checks.
All right.
23, 20.
Oh,
So-
I'm gonna do knowledge from past life.
How many times can you do that a day?
4.
All right, so this is your third one.
Yes.
All right. So he runs up and goes to like tackle you, and at first he you kind of see it. It's almost like you're getting a quick flash of a memory of your training from when you were a younger, much more agile man. He comes in for like that rugby tackle, and as he you feel his arm start to wrap around you and his shoulders start to connect with your gut, you kind of just very quickly slap him on the back of the head and push him down past you. And I'm going to basically say that he slid down this way as you just kind of shoved him out the way to the ground. And he is going to use the rest of his turn to stand up and unsheath his longsword. So you basically avoided a tackle by shoving this dude to the ground, but you now are being flanked by these two guys, and you have a dude who you have tied to the door. It's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
I want this one.
Okay. This is funny. Okay. Well, I want to grab, since it's kind of out in the open, I'm just gonna unsheath this dude's sword and take it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can use your free object interaction. That guy's sword. And so you'll
what do I got?
basically, it'll just be a standard longsword. So it's just your regular strength attack. So it's strength and proficiency because you have proficiency in it, and it's just a regular no +1. So
Alrighty.
just a
Alright.
standard old sword, and you get your whatever attacks and abilities you get as a fighter. I would just say add a regular longsword to your inventory.
I did, yeah. So does that mean that my Echo suddenly has a shadow longsword in his hand?
Yeah, basically as you unsheath it and wield it, you see that almost extending from his arm, the shadows start to kind of converge into just this long sword blade.
Okay.
It's your turn still. What you want to do?
Alright. Okay, hold on. Oh boy. God, it's been a while since I played this character. As a bonus action, you can teleport, magically swapping space with your Echo. Okay. So just to be clear, I know I have a longsword.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be slashing into these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not cutting to kill, I'm cutting to weaken and KO.
Okay.
First of all, because it's really funny, swapping spaces.
Okay.
I know that's weird.
No,
I have a plan though.
I know. Remember, your AC is also much lower for your guy
yeah,
now, I think.
I know.
So,
But I can endlessly summon him, and if they try and get me in the cell, guess what? You have to unlock the cell.
that's true.
I'm going to, first of all, if this guy's restrained, I have advantage.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna try and Rorschach him, and, pull him into the bars to try and KO him.
Okay.
I
So
don't
you're
know
just
if I'm
basically
gonna-
gonna try and just
I'm real quick, I want to, grab his cloak or whatever and just yank him headfirst into the bars.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. And we'll say that is just a opposed athletic check at advantage for you because you got
Okay.
it right there. 18. So Wang, and we'll say roll me a. I'm just gonna
what?
roll a straight. I'm gonna roll a straight D20 luck check, and if it's above 12, he is KO'd and at the door. KO him.
Oh my god, that Rorschach tactics work, baby.
All right.
Okay.
So
So is that one attack?
yes.
Okay. So then the Echo. Can I Echo, unleash Incarnation for Echo again, or do I have to attack to unleash Incarnation?
You have to attack to unleash Incarnation.
But main.
Oh,
me
you can
has to
no.
attack.
You can attack from your Echo.
So I can Echo, unleash Incarnation from the Echo. Main me doesn't have to attack for unleash.
Correct.
Okay. Whenever you take the attack action, so I can attack.
You can attack 2 times because you basically had to replace one of your attacks with the grapple shove to knock him out like that. So you
Yeah,
had
and I have 3 attacks.
total, yes. So you have 2 more attacks on this round for your normal.
Plus unleash?
Plus an unleash, yes.
Okay. Sorry. First longsword is gonna go to the guy at the top.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm imagining, because we're in the situation, I imagine I'm two-handing it.
Okay, but you miss.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you
Okay,
hit
and
the
then-
armor, but it doesn't quite have the effect you're looking for.
And then same attack
That will hit on the same guy.
on the same guy. I'm the Echo is cutting into him, but I'm trying to hold back the blows a little bit to, like, I want him to get woozy from blood loss.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna unleash Incarnation on the same guy.
Go for it. That misses.
No, yeah, okay. No, I will not action surge.
Okay.
All right. And that is me and my Echo.
All right. This guy up here, seeing what is going on, he is going to sprint down here.
Can I just say that, like, main Dragon has been just Rorschach taunting them this entire time?
Indeed. And when they all get there, you have one guy who's unconscious. Take the level worth of 4 people, and they have whatever spell slot you need to do for blindness, deafness to get 3 guys. You can do that right now. I think that's a 4th level spell, right?
I
For
was
your-
muted.
Yeah, for blindness, deafness. I think it's a 4 now instead of a 5 because one guy's unconscious. And it's
Sure,
what, a
I
con?
can do that.
Con 16, I think?
Let me just throw the thing in there, sorry.
Okay, you're good.
And
Con
pass it
16,
on this one.
blindness, deafness on these 3 guys. 1, 2, 3. So 2 of them pass. We'll say the guy that ran up right now is the one that failed, and he's got a bleeding eyeball. So he's blinded. And I'll say that you're concentrating. Because I think it's concentration, right? No, it's not. It just happens. You're not concentrating. You just blinded a man for a minute. So that was your reaction. He ran up. He was going to try and attack your Echo, and he's blinded, so he's going to get 2 attacks at disadvantage with his longsword. Does a 16 hit your Echo?
The Echo's gone, but now they have a man in their way.
They do have a man in their way. I'm just going to move it over here, just so if you want to pull it again, you don't have to.
One of their own men in the way. Yeah, I mean, you guys can cut off his arms if you want.
And he, swinging his sword a second time, not connecting with anything, he's blind, so he's going to stay there. Is it at the end of their turn they get to make that save again?
You sure he doesn't swing wild and accidentally connect into his buddy?
The
No.
blindness?
Yes, or is it just he's just blind
At
for a
the end
minute?
of its turn, yeah.
Okay.
On a
Cool.
success, the spell ends. So they.
All right. Let's
Right.
see if he makes a save. He's still blind. All right. This guy is the guy who's restrained and unconscious. So, Pax, it's your turn. All of your
Okay.
folks have ran away.
Can I have line? I can say I looks like I have line of sight here. Yes.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah, you can see them through the gap in the window in the light. Yeah.
So it looks like the psychic lance is only verbal component. So I think I'm going to do that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do it.
Jeez.
My god, Rob with them psychic lance is insane.
On
dude.
the blind guy, huh?
Uh huh.
4. And he takes 24 psychic damage. And anything else happen with that?
He's incapacitated, I believe.
Incapacitated, yeah.
Oh, jeez. He's blind and incapacitated, and he's having a real bad time now.
Bolin has
No,
that
it's still
spell.
What does it need? Dancey dance.
Okay. Anything else in your turn?
Nope, that'll do it.
All right, Anthea, it's your turn. You see this guy just
Have one-
fall to the ground, just bat. Oh, I just clicked. I'm using your thing to tell me conditions, so you.
Sorry. I'm like coughing up a lung in the background.
Aw.
No, I just swallowed wrong. Don't say aw. Okay. So I have one blinded. It's not concentration, so can I just try to blind the remaining dudes? Like,
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I mean, so there's 3, so 4th
Well,
level?
this guy's unconscious, so you don't even have to worry about him right now.
He's
Yeah,
already blinded
Third
by
level.
just-
just
yeah.
being unconscious.
it's just the 2 of them. So
Might as well. It's all I can do pretty much right now, so I might as well do it. I won't
Okay.
change.
4, and they're both blind. They're all blind. One guy's
Everybody-
incapacitated, and
Everybody's blind.
they're having what the kids call a bad time.
And then can I get Gleba to use his movement to get closer, and he's gonna eventually go pick at any of their, try to see if he can sneak up and
Sure.
when
Sure.
they're not looking.
What's Gleba's total movement? 20 feet?
I think it's 20 feet. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
not very much.
All right, so this guy is blinded. He can't see anything, but he knows from before where his coworkers are. But you see him like grabbing at his eyes, dropping his sword, just trying to like rub his eyes to get out whatever it is that's blinding him. And he's just going to try and work his vision back. So he's just going to end his turn trying to be able to see again with a con save. He works it out.
He got
He
the
dropped-
spores out of his eyes.
He did get those spores out of his eyes. He did drop his sword, however, so he is gonna use his object interaction to pick it back up and look around. And he looks like he just took a red eye flight for how hard he rubbed his eyes. All right, Naomi, you're out here for viewing
Recording.
purposes. Yeah,
Yes.
but you are inside. You
I am.
hear combat happening. You hear screaming. You heard someone's head just get racked off of a steel door. And the psychic lance, it's basically like a thunderous lance that went through, and you just heard a cacophony of sounds. Do you do anything?
Was there any like ink and quill and paper left on the small table?
Roll a d. It's over.
Oh, you broke up super bad for me.
Oh, I say roll a d100. If it's over a 50, then yes.
Dang it.
There's not. But see, I'm gonna roll a d100, a d100, and Simon might have some on his person because they didn't take off his like harness and stuff, just in case they have to grab him because dogs like that sometimes.
Simon smuggled in
There
a
you-
paper and quill by swallowing it.
Simon's got some stuff that you could write.
Cool.
Paper.
Yeah, I will take out the paper and quill and ink, and I will go and sit myself down at this table, and I will start writing something.
All right,
And that
we'll
is the
say
end of my
Simon.
turn.
Simon is you for right now. You are
Perfect.
Simon. So that's
I am
actually
Simon.
there's the chair. There's the chair. All right, this guy is also blind, trying to rub his eyes out as well. Let's see if he drops his sword and tries to do the same thing. He is also no longer blind, but he didn't do anything on his turn because the end of the turn to do that, he'll pick up his sword again and he'll look kind of like with his sword around like ha 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 ha. And he's freaking out. Dragon.
Alright, so main dragon is still taunting them.
Yes.
However, bonus action, bloop,
Okay.
and he's facing main dragon. So he doesn't. I know, not no advantage, but he doesn't see it coming.
Correct.
So the echo once again. I know I'm cutting into a man, but I'm not trying to kill.
Okay. Yeah, that
this
hits.
one, and it's all two-handed still.
Mhm.
The second one,
22 will hit for 11. Yep.
And then the third one. If at any point any of them go down, I would like the final hit to be like a conk on the back of the skull with the pommel of the sword.
Okay, he is looking real bad compared to what he just was.
Okay, I will unleash.
Okay. So that takes him to -1. How do you want to take him down?
Alright, obviously not killing him, so if possible, the final longsword is like the conk on the back of his head, maybe, rattling his helmet, and then just, knock him down.
Okay, well, we'll say he is
He's
also...
gonna have a mean headache in the morning.
Yeah, I'll say he's incapacitated, and I'll take him out of initiative order. He's effectively unconscious, but his body is there, and he's not dead. He's just bleeding a little bit.
And this guy's incapacitated. I see him, like, he has a mean headache too. He just got a psychic lance to the face.
Yes, he did.
So the Echo is just going to walk this way, and in front of this guy who just picked up his sword, it's now 2 people taunting him with, like, come on, come get some.
Oh.
Guys, you guys see the scene in Game of Thrones where Barristan Selmy is, like, taunting the Kingsguard and is like, even now without my armor, I can still cut you down like a cake. That's what's happening with Dragon. He's facing down them all. No armor. As like, I can still take you all.
Okay. So, fun fact about the lance, the psychic lance spell, technically you have to know their name. But I'm gonna let it go. Because that was a good maneuver. No, you're good. So we'll say for this, because they're guard, you can yell guard, and that's probably gonna get them. They respond. I'm gonna say whatever you can respond to. The guard. But
that's
worked.
an alternative of Psychic Lance. Alternatively, you can utter a creature's name.
Well, that works. It still works.
And if you know the creature's name, the spell's range is just wherever that creature is.
Oh, that's cool.
Or it doesn't go. It goes beyond. You don't have to see the named creature if the creature's enraged.
Yeah. So he's incapacitated still, but for how long is he incapacitated?
I think it's the end of his turn.
The end of the turn, or until the
I think it's
start
the end of your turn.
The start of your next turn. Yeah. So he can't do anything. He's still blind. So let me roll a save just to see if he gets out of being blind. But he's still incapacitated, so he can't do anything. He's just maintaining being blind. And this guy, he is also unconscious, so I'm gonna take him out for right now because he got his head smacked off the gate. Okay, Pax, it is your turn. You see your guy kind of shake off that mental stun. So he kind of starts moving a little bit, but he's blinded. He's got them allergies.
Okay, let's see. See what else I can see. Can't really see much. Well, I can still kind of see a little bit.
Oh yeah, you would have had all of your spell slots and stuff coming in because you had that long rest before you went to the castle. So if you had any expended spell slots, you've only expended the one that you've used in combat right now.
Okay, go ahead. I'll viciously mock.
The blind.
Yes, the blind one.
You're so blind.
Protective guard.
Okay.
Embrace your disability. It'll set you free, or make you fall down.
He's like, you're right. It will. I can do this. That's more of inspiring more than mocking him at this point because you're on a natural 20. Anything else you wish to do on your turn?
No. I'll just kind of keep position. I'll maybe wave over to and be like, "You okay?"
Oh, she's actually in here. She's just out here for.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Then never mind.
You could see though if you looked right across the way, you could probably that Simon and her.
Okay. You okay over there? You good?
She just seems to be writing. Anthea, it is your turn. You see a guy unconscious, a dude tied to a door, your blind man, and then a man with a sword.
So the guy that's unconscious, is that this guy with the sleepy thing on him?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get Gleba to kind of sneak around over here.
Oh yeah, Gleba makes it because
Try to-
dude's blind. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah. He's not gonna get like an attack of opportunity.
No, and this other one doesn't notice Gleba because the echo is right in front of him. So.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so Gleba's gonna try and use his little mouth to grab any keys if he sees any dangly keys.
Okay, so I'm gonna say go ahead and because they all have keys because they're all prison guards. Go ahead and roll a Let me look. What's Gleba's stat? What's Gleba's dexterity?
It's a +1.
Okay. Do they have a higher strength? I doubt it, but maybe.
Nope, it's a -5.
Okay.
He is very, very not strong.
All right. So go ahead and roll then a dexterity check at advantage as you try and just pull it on out. Let me.
Oh no.
Well, he is unconscious, so
Oh, please.
I mean, we'll say that Gleba can't get him right now, but next turn Gleba will have them free
Okay.
because she's trying to pull keys out from an unconscious body, so they're just kind of
He's
stuck.
trying.
Anything else you wish to
Okay.
do on your turn?
Technically I have my turn still, right?
You do.
So, sorry. I mean, can I just try to reblind the ones who unblinded themselves?
Sure.
I'm gonna be that
So it's
person.
just the one because this guy's unconscious. So yes, it's just the
Okay.
one person. Yeah,
So just second level then.
and he's blind again.
Touch.
Jesus,
Wonderful.
this is the most effective I think I've ever seen blindness definitely be in a fight.
I mean, usually it's not that effective if they can get the con save.
Yeah,
But
these guys
they're
got a
not rolling
+2,
that
so
well,
they're
right?
it's not like they're rolling bad. They're not rolling like super great, but I mean, you know. All right, so he's blind again. Just
Nice.
you're blind, you're blind, you're blind.
Are you
Naomi,
blind?
it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep working on my letter. If I hear Pax calling to me, I'll look up and just give a little wave, and then I will go back to my letter.
Okay. All right. This guy is once again blinded. He did see the guy in front of him, so he's twice disadvantage against this dude in front of him. So 14.
I mean, just leave him there.
Okay.
It knocks him out, but we
Alright.
both know where this is going.
Yeah, and then he's not gonna swing with his second attack. He's gonna try and rub his eyes to get the blindness out, and it's not successful. Dragon.
All right, so blindness, does that give me advantage? How does blindness work?
Blindness does give you advantage. Yes, so blinded, you can't see and you fail any ability check that requires sight, and then attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature has disadvantage on attacks.
Okay. So I've knocked him out. I broke his face in. This guy's still around?
Yeah, they're both blinded right now.
All right, I'm just going to go for the one in front of me
So
as
you
I
use
bonus
the
action resummon.
Got it. You're going for the guy right here.
Yeah, this guy down here.
Hit. 13, 13, 11, 26, 27, 37 damage. This guy is having a bad time.
Unleash Incarnation.
Okay. That does hit for another 15, and he is looking real bad.
Alrighty, this is what we'd like to hear. Yes, the worse he gets, I am very visibly like pulling my swings.
Okay. Yeah, he's looking. You can like, alongside being blinded, he's very confused and is looking real worse for wear right now.
Yeah, normally in a fight, I'd aim to deal maximum damage, maybe go for an artery or two, but I'm holding back.
Yeah, it's basically like you're hitting him in all the non-vital spots.
Yeah.
And you're just like slowly.
I'm making as much impact with the armor while still leaving a heavy enough hit to get through the armor.
You're turning the sword broadside. And just
Yeah.
beat him with it like a
I'm just beating. I'm just doing bludgeoning damage.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's just gonna swing wildly in front of him, and just see what happens. Disadvantage because he's blind. 9.
Oh, that actually misses.
16.
That hits.
All right. He's gonna try and rub the blindness out of his eyes. Nope. He's still blind. Pax, it's your turn.
Okay, so he's still got some blindness in his eyes. I'll bash him a little more difficultly. Get a tiny hat over his head, or sure, why not? Let's get a little bit closer and try to actually help out.
Oh, straight up dimensioning door.
Oh
just
my
over.
god! Wow,
Where
dude, you could have left the castle.
All right, so you're just going like right here.
Yeah.
You can put yourself where you can literally go anywhere. Just you can put yourself wherever you want because it's a 500-foot spell. So
Don't think I have any web. Well, no, I can do my leap and jump and hoof stuff, right?
yeah, you can. I'll say you can
Can
run.
I, real quick before
Sure.
Pax, you do anything? I just have to ask: is this our gear up here? These are a lot of boxes.
Yeah, your stuff's in those boxes up there.
Okay, I couldn't free action shout to Pax to like gather our gear, could I?
You could say that. Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, I would. If I see sudden Pax in the hallway, I'd be like,
Okay.
"Go for the
Go for
boxes."
All right. So
Oh.
we'll say, roll me a 1d4, and that will tell me whose gear is in it. So we'll go like Naomi is 1, you're 2, Anthea is 3, and Dragon's 4. So you open up that crate, and you see a big old hat and some spell stuff.
I will grab it all and then use as much movement as I can to get towards Anthea to get
Okay.
her stuff.
Yeah, we'll say you're like right there. So you see Pax just all of this here in front of you. Stuff, Anthea.
Shove.
And it's your turn, and you now have your hat and your armor and your gear. So you can equip all of the items that you have back onto your person.
Oh my goodness.
So you have all your spell components, you have all of your stuff.
I'm just putting all my stuff on. Okay, cool. Ooh, I have a crossbow as well. I mean, am I gonna start shooting people? Anyway, I started blasting. I also don't want to knock them out too much. I don't want to hurt them. None of us are hurt, are we?
Nope.
Okay, cool. In that case, I guess, yeah, again, there's nothing I can do from out here, so...
You have Gleba. Gleba now has the key available.
Oh, yes. Can I use Gleba to try and get the key there?
Yeah, Gleba has the key now, and you
Okay,
can with
perfect.
Gleba to the key. Bring them to you if you want.
Gleba will bring the key, which I think he can only get, like, that close.
That's 15 feet. He's got one more.
Oh.
So there you go.
He is next to Pax.
Yeah, I'll say
Can I
if
have
you.
Pax
I'll
key
say
for
if you. I was
next
gonna say. I'll say if you. Gleba, go to like this square right here and just give you the key, and you can start trying to make it work if you want.
Okay, let's do that.
Cool.
Okay,
So Gleba's
I'll
there.
spend my turn trying to get the door open. Yep, that's cool.
Sounds good. Naomi, you saw her a thunderous force, like explosion from Pax's room, as Dimension Door can do damage. So you heard that, and you saw Pax run up, open a chest, and then run back away. You hear some combat going on. You're still just writing.
Yep. Still working on my letter.
Okay. All right. This guy is, well, he's looking really hurt. So he's going to try and rub the stuff out of his eyes and kind of back away. He can't see because he's still blinded because he gets you at the end of his turn. So if you want to take an attack, your guy's gone, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
All right, cool. 5, 10. He's just gonna stumble backwards, and I'm gonna say he falls over there and prone like right there, and then gets up, and he's gonna try and rub the stuff out of his eyes. He is still blinded.
Oh my god.
Dragon.
Alright. Bonus action. I'm going to pop him here.
Okay.
And begin swinging at this guy.
Okay. It's at advantage because he's blind, so. Ooh, wow. 15, 29. Dude is still up.
I'll use my last unleash.
Okay. You do hit him, and you knock him unconscious as you broadside him in the side of the face and drops this dude to the ground.
Okay. Goody. Alright, then I am, if possible, I'm okay if it takes an action, but like maybe bonus action or whatever, I'm gonna start like going over dude who I knocked out face first into the bars. I'm gonna find his keys.
Okay, yeah, we'll say that you're working on that now, and then you'll get them by the end of the next turn round.
Alright.
Because he's like on the ground, you're trying to reach through and move around his body. They're basically hanging on his belt loop towards the back, so you have to like maneuver around this unconscious body. It's through a
while I'm doing that, I just shout to the others, one more down below, may want to take care of him.
Alright, Pax, you are up. You see this guy stumbled and he fell. and he's still rubbing his eyes. He looks really, really beat up. And then you got Anthea's working on getting this door open. Dragon's working on getting the keys and yelling some instructions to you. And you haven't seen Naomi step out or even attempt to leave her cell. So that's where we're at.
I think I will do another gear run.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
see what
absolutely.
else I can do.
So it'll be a 1. So you find Naomi's gear.
As I open, I will look at like, you want your gear, Naomi? Because if she's not doing much, I'll open a different box.
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Okay.
Okay,
So
it's
we'll
box
say-
number 1. I'll open box number 2.
Okay. So just go ahead and roll a d6. 1 to 3 will be your stuff, and 4 to 6 will be... Alright, so you find your stuff.
I will re-equip.
Cool. So you can re-equip. And we'll say to open 2 boxes, run up there, and equip all your stuff.
Yeah.
That'll just be your turn. So you're
I
up
think
there
so.
right now, and there's one more box that you can see is empty, so you know by process of elimination that's where Dragon's gear will be. Anthea, you now have the door to your cell. The door swings right on open, and you see this blinded guy just chilling right there by that table. You see Pax running around, Dragon working on getting the door open, and you still haven't seen Naomi yet.
Okay. And I have 30 feet. Can I try to climb over the table?
Absolutely.
I just want to. Oh, can I pick up Gleba and shove him in my hat as I?
Yeah. Gleba just jumps up onto your shoulder and climbs into your hat.
Okay. So what am I at? 5, 10, 15.
Okay.
If I just like try to run along the table,
Yeah.
and then I have 30 feet. Does that cost me extra movement if I'm like jumping on the table to run across?
No. It's just a
Okay.
table.
And then I'm just gonna try to bonk him in the head with my quarterstaff to hopefully try and
Okay.
just knock him out.
Alright. It is at advantage because he is blind.
Alright.
That hits him. As you see Anthea throw Gleba in her head, jump up, slide across the table, Dukes of Hazzard style, and with a quarterstaff out, just like swing a baseball bat and crack this dude in his temple, knocking him unconscious, and bringing your combat to a close. As just at that moment, you're as the
Oh, no.
metallic lock of Dragon's door is released, and
Oh,
Dragon, you can shove this guy out the way and step out.
I just pull like if they're like sliding bars. Are they sliding or is it a
No, it
actual door?
basically it opens up. So you basically, since he's unconscious, you would have had to like force it with strength to push his body and the door, which you can do. You're pretty
Yeah.
strong. So
I unsummon. And
Yeah.
I begin walking over to my box.
yeah. So your box
Oh,
is
we
up
can add
there.
Partial jailbreak to our list of accomplishments. That's interesting.
hmm So you guys have the gear. Naomi, you're still in your cell with. Is your letter complete? Let me ask you that.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys approach and you see Naomi finishing what looks to be a letter of some sort, folding it up and placing it wherever you wish to place it. As you guys put on all of your equipment, and you have Naomi inside the cell with Simon just sitting on the bed, being very well behaved, counter to everything you've ever seen him do.
Cell open?
No, her cell is shut.
Can I open it with the key?
You can certainly stick it in the lock and turn it to unlock it if you so choose.
I do that.
Okay. Your cell door is now unlocked and open, Naomi.
You're free now. We can escape.
Naomi will get to her feet and she'll walk over to Simon and give him a very loving pat on the head, fold up the paper and stick it in his like the storage area. But it's gonna be the one that's like right at the nape of his neck, so she's gonna like slide it in there. So all you'd have to do is like reach down, grab it, and like toss it to get it out. And she's
Okay.
gonna lean over and whisper something in his ear, and you guys just see Simon just takes off running. He runs past you as soon as the door
Like,
opens.
pulls past me.
Yep.
And you guys see Simon take off past you, runs this way, and then you... It's really funny when you watch a big lumbering dog try and run up and down stairs, but you hear him just almost falls off the edge, makes it off both landings, slams into this door up here, and then Simon disappears upstairs, what you assume to be into the castle. Or you know to be into the castle, you just You don't know where he's gone.
And she will slowly turn around and face Anthea, walk to the door, reach out, and slam it shut. With her still inside.
You're choosing to stay?
This is my duty. This is what I'm supposed to do. I am currently a prisoner. I have one of two choices. I can go with you and break the law and be forever on the run, or I can stay here and accept my punishment. What I can't do is stop you, because they took my gear.
I'm glad I didn't give you your gear just yet. Love you, but I think we're going to try to find a slightly less legal solution to do this.
You're being held unlawfully. Something is wrong with your king. Don't you wish to find out what's wrong?
I believe he will come to his senses in due time.
While kind of strapping on his armor, Dragon just says, "You do not deserve to be jailed by this false king. He's a fake insert that I mistakenly helped put to the throne however many years ago when I was still living. I am gearing up and I'm returning to my children. They deserve to know their father lives."
This was not the man that you nor I knew. Something is afoot, and I do not doubt that, but that doesn't mean that he won't return to his normalcy.
Well, that is your decision as a king's soldier. I'll respect it as a fellow soldier myself, but I'm leaving. And Dragon begins walking after gearing up and getting his sword and armor on.
You have all of your items. Since you were not in jail for too long, anything that you had previously attuned is still attuned to you. And you have all of your equipment. The three of you have your stuff. Naomi is still in the jail cell. Are the three of you leaving, or just Dragon?
If the others are leaving, Dragon's definitely first to do it.
Yeah, I think Pax would go along, since Naomi's writing a letter, would maybe encourage her to write a letter where he can get one too. Like, we can be pen pals at least, if not adventuring companions in the short term.
Jail. You're writing to somebody arrested. Perfect.
All right. So
I'll make sure you get something from the commissary each month.
As they go to leave, Anthea being the closest, Naomi will reach out through the bars and grab Anthea's hand and very softly say, "Please make sure Simon makes it out of the castle."
Aw.
Yes, and we'll make sure that you get out too.
Thank you.
We'll clear your name.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But for now, I will settle in for a long and disgusting stay down here.
While getting ready to walk up the stairs and kind of like stopping on the first step to wait for the others to follow. After a few seconds, whether they follow or not, Dragon begins walking up the stairs again. And now that he has all of his equipment, he holds his hand to his chest and disappears into the shadows.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun
Okay.
dun.
He is
Dragon.
getting out of this castle.
Dragon disappears with invisibility.
And it's less so like, suddenly he just disappears, and I like to imagine Dragon's invisibility is him kind of sinking into the shadows.
As you
And in response, and then I'll have to dip not long after this, I'll look at Anthea and say, "We could follow suit. If you hold my hand, we can dimension door together. Shall we go somewhere more peaceful to recuperate?"
Oh, I like that idea. I canceled my passive out
That's
trace
fine.
that I was getting ready to cast. Here.
Dragon,
better.
your echo starts to step out of you, and as you kind of just fade into the shadows, you look behind you and you see Pax walk up to Anthea. They kind of link arms and it's like a big, almost like a giant oak door appears, and they walk through, and you see on just bright sunshine and city streets, which you know to be above. And the two of you step outside of the main gate of the castle based on sheer. Actually, I'm gonna roll a d100 and see how lucky. How
So
lucky you
while
are
you're
if
roll-
you're not seeing.
While you're rolling that D100, just to be clear, I 100% kept Dude's longsword. He doesn't deserve it. He's a shit guard.
That's fine. You guys make it right to the inside edge of the front gate. It is not locked, so as soon as you appear, you can very quickly step outside and just be outside of the gates, out of view of any of the guards. And Dragon, as you kind of become one with the shadows, you feel this feeling that you have not felt in a very, very long time. You feel that urge. You feel the urge isn't the right word. Yes, Simon does go running by Anthea and Pax.
Feel the calling.
You, not a calling. You feel when Dragon became a parent for the first time, you felt this connection to your child, and you felt it again when your second child was born. And you felt this connection with them through the entirety of their young life as you left to go to this unnamed war when they were 3. You and your wife had been married for a year, and you had left after 4, and you'd had both of your children, the oldest being 3, the youngest being 2 at that point. And you left, and ever since you reawoke, you have not felt the connection of your children. As you leave the castle, you kind of, as you're leaving visibly, you kind of take note of this strange feeling that you've been having since you arrived back in the city, and you can finally place it. You hear a voice inside your head who you know to be your echo. It says, "They're here. They're in the city. Find them. They can probably help you." And with that, we will go ahead and end this session. You have the feeling that your kids are somewhere in this city. The two, Pax and
Yay.
Anthea, making their way to somewhere. And Simon free. And Naomi, you hear the one guard starting to rustle himself awake, who is still tied to a door. So that is where we will pick up in a couple of weeks' time and see what we got going from there. So
Thank you guys. Amazing as always. Woo!
Yay!
Yeah.
Great game, as always. We will see everyone in the next one. And for now, everybody say goodbye to YouTube!
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube! Happy dungeon delving, everyone!